How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Hi,
It's
Night
of the
Living
podcast.
and
I'm
Kelley. Oh wait, I'm Andy.
and I'm Kelley, and it's Halloween time. I don't know how much longer I can really keep that up.
Yeah, you guys did great. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Welcome to a Halloween special time once again. It's the time for what do they call them? Ghouls and what do you call them?
Ghouls and ghosts.
It's spooky, scary skeletons.
There you go.
Sissies?
grinning
Ghouls and
ghosts.
sissies, like
Sissies, goblins.
Rankin Bass would put it?
Yeah, the Halloween. What did Mr. Roper used to do on Three's Company? He would do like the Tinkerbell thing.
Perpetuate.
Oh, yeah, he would do the little, he
Yeah.
would ring the little bell whenever
You-
he's talking about Jack being
He
gay.
would perpetuate misunderstandings and stereotypes.
Yeah, think
Yeah.
of your favorite 70s.
I mean, stereotypes
homophobic
exist
thing
for a
and-
reason.
Yeah.
All right, you sissy.
Anyway, it's Sunday.
Bloody Sunday.
Mm-hmm. The robots are here.
Yeah. Jacqueline's trying
There she
to
is.
vacuum a rug that is pushed up under Kelly's chair, so she's trying to ramp it. 'Cause
Jacqueline being our
it's like,
robot
you don't have
vacuum.
to worry about it. She's a robot. You're not going to hurt her feelings, Kelley.
Is that your Mr. Belvedere or your No Carter?
That's our
Or is it your Tony Danza?
Could be
it's
your
our Tony Danza.
Could be
Answer
your
carefully.
Soap Era Benson.
Was that an 80s thing? Like just live in help?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, people have that. Just
But-
not people we know.
But here's the thing: there's
More people could
You're
have
Charles
had
in
it then.
charge.
A lot of those houses did not warrant a live-in help.
These were not. It is funny how like the people in '80s sitcoms with servants weren't really rich.
They were nice houses. Don't get me wrong.
No, yeah.
but
Well, no. Here's the thing. Like,
They were Ferris Bueller level.
income inequality wasn't quite as wide
Hmm.
back in the 80s, right? That's when it was born, really.
I don't know.
Well,
Our
I just-
1%.
I just hope they got paid a decent wage.
Mr. Belvedere?
Yes.
Charles did not. He was a college student. They paid him in beer and pizza.
Yeah.
Or did they think Mr. Belvedere's family was like, we're not going to pay you as much, if anything, because you get free room and board.
Do you think,
Bort.
is it at all possible
What?
that Mr. Belvedere had to pay both federal income tax here and in his home country?
Oh.
Of Britain.
Yeah, how does that
Yeah.
work when you have dual, or
When you're a
on
Belvedere?
visa, or when you're... Hey, if there's any tax lawyers out there, if you want to write us...
You know what Mr. Belvedere's
Yeah.
favorite alcohol is?
What's that?
Belvedere.
That's a good one.
It plays tricks on you.
Mm-hmm. It sure does.
I always thought you
makes you
like-
see Halle Berry where she isn't.
He liked cream of Wesley, is what I heard. There's a little mint in it.
Kelly's the
It's
only one that got
coffee.
that joke. It's because he's fly like me.
What are we doing?
He's down.
I lost some weight in my whiffs.
What is happening right now? I feel like... Oh, Missy
Because she has a line in the
Elliott.
song that says the Belvedere playing tricks on you.
Mhm.
What is Belvedere?
It's like
It's-
is it cognac?
I think so.
Okay.
It's kind of like a Hennessy, I think.
Well, why don't we know, Mike? We did that
we should
cognac
know.
tasting
We
and
took
learning.
a class on cognac and
Someone
class at
is-
Courvoisier.
Someone's gonna Facebook it to us, so it doesn't matter.
If there's any cognac lawyers out there,
Oh, it's vodka.
oh,
Okay, that's why
Well,
we
there
don't
you
know.
go.
Is it
We're an
necessary
expert
for
on all
Jacqueline
things
to clean
cognac.
now?
What?
just Jacqueline's fine. Just leave Jacqueline alone. Andy, this
Jacqueline
is Jacqueline's house,
turn-
not yours.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So Belvedere is Polish vodka, and you can get it for $40.
Ooh,
Has she-
1.75 liters.
Does it taste like Polish sausage?
Has she sucked up the
Sassy
goldfish
kid.
yet?
Kelly's trying to re-guide the robot.
No, I'm just trying to get out from under the.
Oh.
Freddie, turn her off. This is becoming chaos now.
It's not chaos.
Or take her out of the room.
Leave the room in a minute.
Just block her way.
She just wants to be near Kelley.
I just feel this is very passive aggressive on Jacqueline's part.
Yeah.
She's like, I just want to be part.
She's like, I'm
Of
trying to
your
work
world.
in here.
You think she's trying to reach out to her for help?
This is what happens when you buy an off-brand
her.
Roomba.
Freddie Morris, get her. Get her.
Get your woman.
I think she's trying to send a message to the listeners, like, help me.
She's blinking.
Yeah,
Listeners?
she's like, these people are filthy.
If there's any robot lawyers out there, so before we continue with this delightful banter, I wanted to say thank you to Emily and Brandon for visiting us in our fair city, and making the time to go hang out with us. We finally made it to Tokyo Kitty, which is Cincinnati's little karaoke bar. You've heard Jacob Trevino on the show before, and that's his bar. And we karaoke'd.
We did.
What did you sing?
I sang The Millionaire by Dr. Hook, and what else? We did Love Shack.
Freddie and I do Love Shack.
Oh,
I sang something else, but I can't remember what it was.
Andy did a medley of Little Mermaid tunes.
Little's Mermaid.
Little's Mermaid.
Yeah.
You and Emily duetted on Under the Sea.
I've got a little video of this that if I have time, I might throw together.
Emily and
something.
Brandon
Look at
brought the
this stuff.
house down
Isn't it neat?
with Amish Paradise. I've never seen anything so amazing.
Oh yeah.
But you know Emily from the Feminine
Feminines.
She's such a Fremini.
Feminine Critique, Deli's Dollhouse, and In My Heart.
Oh.
We had a great time.
And Mike, what did you do?
Oh, Mike did a...
What did I do?
You did Crash Test Dummies.
Look what you made me do.
I did do that.
Yeah, that was real great. And
Did you like
then-
it?
I loved it, Mike.
Yeah.
You put on a great show, and
Thank
then
you.
Friends in Low Places, you added a little boot scoot and boogie in the middle
did
of
Oh,
it.
you
add a
boot scooted?
I did
He
boot
did.
You
scoot.
scooted your boot?
If you don't have vocal cords, you got to figure out how to sell it. Little razzle dazzle.
You
You
have
razzled my dazzle.
I can hear your voice. You have vocal cords.
I do have
Yeah.
vocal cords.
If you don't have vocal
He went out and bought them the next day.
So I gave you both
Talent.
my vocal cords and my razzle dazzle.
We learned that Brandon can really shake his hips.
You can't see
Oh,
that.
the Hunk of Burning
Yeah, he did
Love.
Hunk of Burning Love, yeah. And also, then he did, remember, Big John.
I love Big John.
Yeah, he did Big John.
It's a great karaoke
Every morning at the
song.
mine, you could see him arrive.
That's right.
He's like 6'6".
I might have to steal that
245.
one for my karaoke arsenal. It
You're gonna
doesn't
steal Big
require a lot
John?
of singing. I might have
Yeah.
to do that.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
Who
Great
will win a
story.
fight, Big John or bad Leroy Brown?
Big John.
Jolene.
Jolene will win.
Turns out they live together, though.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But John Henry, he's got that big old hammer.
Yep.
So anyway, that was fun.
Does Jim have a last name? Being the one that said, don't mess around with Jim.
Yeah.
What's his last name?
Punchington?
Oh,
Jim
it's Jim
Punching.
Walker. Big Jim Walker.
Mm.
He's a bullshooting son of a gun. He's the king of 42nd Street. Driving a drop-top Cadillac.
What about a boy named Sue? Does he hang out with these guys?
Yeah.
Is everybody going through every song they've ever heard
With
to figure
names.
another one? What about Stan?
It stands there.
Damn, it was you the whole along.
Damn, it was Big Joe Jim Brown. What?
Joe Jim Brown.
It was Big Joe Jim Brown the whole time. I shouldn't have messed with him. I guess I spit into the wind.
What about Mom Spaghetti?
Lucy's in the sky
Ah!
with diamonds.
I love it.
So we
She's
were
too busy.
We were in the
Yeah.
Lost in Translation room,
Oh.
and there were wigs.
You guys
I
have
know
to sit
wig.
in your underwear?
Andy's
Yeah.
leg got snatched a few times
Yeah.
because he was dancing too hard.
And 10 minutes after I put the wig on, I immediately regretted it.
You got the lice now?
Got all the lights.
He's got the lice.
Now you have it. Yeah. You get lights. You get lights. You get lights.
It was nice to be in. I've never done like a private room karaoke
Yeah.
thing where you're just with your friends and nobody else has to see you. So my first song, I was really nervous because I'm always nervous. But then I realized it doesn't fucking matter.
But
You're just
Amy,
my
they-
bros.
They broadcast that out
Oh,
on live
shit.
webcam.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, it's actually, if you tune into Channel 19, you can watch all the private rooms.
They also
Okay.
broadcast it to your high school reunion.
Oh, that was the next night. I wonder how it went. Do you know how it went, Andy?
It's tragic.
Oh, they all died.
What song did you sing, Amy?
I did You Can Call Me Al.
And you did a great job.
She did.
Thank you.
She
Because
did.
you can.
That's another name song that we could have tossed
Yeah,
in.
you think
To our banter.
the
Al's
person
too
called
busy
Al?
He went
Like-
down with Julio.
Yeah, down by the
to
school.
the schoolyard.
Hey,
But-
And,
Kelley,
and Richard Corey was there killing himself. We could do this all day.
Billy Joe McAllister.
Levon!
What?
What about Levon?
What about Hee Haw?
Levon.
Levon.
You take a cruise on the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Oh.
Benny! In his jets.
Her jets.
Her jets.
Yeah.
What about...
And then Maria took a letter for him.
Take a letter, Maria. Are you enjoying this, listener?
No.
Are you shouting out with your own?
I'm trying.
Anyway, so that was fun. Then... Somebody's chair is creaking.
I was gonna say I wanted to tell Kelley there's a Godzilla themed room there.
No.
I'm sorry, what?
And it's
room?
awesome. Gojira.
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 I will say that private room idea of the karaoke just brings a whole nother level to karaoke. Because I wouldn't necessarily go up on a stage in front of a whole bunch of people I don't know, but it was real fun to let loose and let my boot scoot and boogie out.
It lets you get your freak on.
How busy was the big room?
There was nobody
Well, we went at 6:30
on a Friday. Like, we were there early.
6:30.
We did old people karaoke.
Yeah, and also like the super diverse crew working there, were all young and like it was like
Hip.
Central Casting's super hip young people, you know, and
And you're like, I don't belong here.
I felt so old.
It was
man.
Millennial Bingo.
Oh, I'd love
Yeah.
it. I belong. I'd get
Yeah.
up on that fucking stage and I'd be
Yeah.
like,
I'm just saying when you go in there and they're like, oh look, some people came in here who are like 40 something tonight. It's cute.
Are you wearing jeans?
yeah,
Are you wearing jeans?
that was cute.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt. I felt like a senior citizen.
Mm-hmm.
But other than
It's not
that,
Did you
their
say a
fault, it's our
singer
fault.
citizen?
I felt like a singer citizen.
Senior
Well, also, they
citizen?
probably were like listening at the door. They're like, "Yeah, they're doing oldies."
Before
We really were.
Yeah, we were.
before I introduce us,
Yeah.
I do want to.
Oh, yeah.
I want to tell a story from yesterday. We went to breakfast at this really good place. I highly recommend it to everyone in the room. This is some local color for you guys, listeners.
Is it a new spot?
It's not. It's new to us.
Yeah.
It's Echo in Hyde Park.
Echo?
Echo. And it's a really cute little diner. The food is really good. The place itself is not pretentious or hipstery.
I thought you were gonna say it's not good. You're like the floor has big holes in it, so you got to watch your step.
There's black mold everywhere.
Just centipedes all over the walls.
Ah!
But,
God.
no, the food is great. The place is great. But the people there are sort of like what you said.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's not just young. It's like an entire, like, it is like, it was cast.
Yeah.
But the two best ones actually for me, the ones that were notable, were these two old hippie dudes, and it was George Carlin
Yeah.
and Martin Mull.
Nice.
Basically, we're sitting together at a table, and they were like the one old guy who had his back to me had a yoga shirt on,
Oh.
but he was like 65 and he had sandals, like he was just like.
Do you have a ponytail?
What's a yoga shirt?
It said yoga on the back of it.
Wow, he must like yoga.
I was thinking like a linen shirt. Or
I
something.
realized that like as soon as you said it, I was
I
like,
get it
oh,
now.
yeah, it just says yoga. And then the other guy had a long gray ponytail, glasses, like goatee, and he had like a gray and black Hawaiian shirt over like just a plain black t-shirt. And they're sitting there, and I can always hear people's conversations. And so we're talking. All of a sudden, I hear George Carlin with the ponytail say to Martin Mull, "You ever read Colossus? It's Henry Miller." And I just burst into just giggles out loud. I was like, "That is what? Is this real?" I was like, is this real? Are we dead?" Dude,
That's a big difference. That conversation, this whole discussion, it's really that's East Side Cincinnati.
That's a
you
very-
would never hear this on the West
Yeah,
Side.
that's a very expensive conversation.
and
I felt like though you were describing like my 20 years from now self at that
Yeah.
descriptors.
yeah, but you'll be wearing different clothes, man.
Okay, good.
You'll-
I don't like ponytails.
We're wearing silver jumpsuits.
You don't like ponytails now.
Oh.
What was also great, here's another thing that was indicative of being in Hyde Park. We parked, and they have these parking meters where like it's awesome. You can like update them from your phone. You can add time.
Those are
and-
neat. Yeah.
Cincy Easy Park.
But we didn't know how they worked, so we just put our money in and walked away, and we're like, 150 yards down the street from there, getting ready to cross, and this man runs up to us, and he's like, "You guys forgot your little tickets. You got to put this in your car." We were like, wow,
service.
thank you, fella. I just was very surprised.
That is weird.
Like, it was just like, wow, people are.
They're looking out for their fellow man.
This is weird, though.
I would have snatched that and put it in my car.
He was jogging. He didn't have a car.
Awful.
Yeah.
He was just running. Everybody runs.
I thought
out
you were
there.
going to say, like, you put your money in the meter, and then you looked up, and there's just a crowd of millennials taking pictures of people putting actual money in a meter.
Oh.
Like, ooh, they do this still.
What is the political makeup of Hyde Park? Is that a pretty progressive area?
Yes
It's a
and no.
mix.
It's a yuppie, young yuppie.
Okay.
It's real white.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the whitest place I've ever been.
There's some old money there too.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering about. I know it's
Like
pretty
Confederate money?
la-ti-da.
It is.
like,
It's
we
a
can't
little
ta-
la-ti-da, but
we
it's a
can't
lot of
take this.
young couples.
Okay.
And but they are like, they very professional.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of money.
So much
It's a specialty
jogging.
stop for me, usually.
Yeah, everybody's jogging all the time.
Ugh.
It's when you think of like the upwardly mobile 80s yuppie.
Everyone has a dog.
That's where
They're always
at.
walking their dog. Nothing's wrong
Yeah.
with having dogs,
Of course not.
but I don't ever see anyone who doesn't have a dog. That's more
Right.
Oakley than Hyde Park.
yeah,
but
Oakley's like the
they're hand in
the
hand.
slightly cheaper sister.
I hope you're
neighborhood.
taking notes.
Yeah.
If you want to know about Cincinnati, this is
There
what
it
you
is.
can know. Where I live, they found where I live near Andy's house actually.
Oh, the sex doll.
The sex doll.
That you spoiled it.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
You buried
That's
the
the
lead,
twist.
Andy.
Somebody
Yeah.
called the police, said it looks like a body dumped on the side of the road.
There's a body dumped on the side of the road.
And they call the cops come out. The cops go,
just a cum-filled live doll.
and they call the coroner. The coroner actually had to come out, open the bag.
It was the
and
corner
go,
from The Wizard of Oz
That's a sex doll.
with the little scroll.
Which honestly, this is the best outcome in news story from our township in a long time. So good on you, Coleraine.
You think it was a crime of passion?
Mm.
Did you say fashion or fashion?
Passion.
A crime of fashion.
Now, how long does it remain in evidence before I can claim it?
Oh,
It is very close to where you live.
they
It's
cut
off
that
Lick
thing
Road,
open.
which we've talked about. Lick Road.
All they
Amy.
found inside of it was a license
RZA?
plate.
License plate,
Some cans.
whole lot of jism.
Yeah,
No, they found Alex Kittner's body.
Yeah, and there was in there.
you got a love doll out there with a mouth about this big.
Well, that's useless. This sex doll came up through the Gulf Stream.
and you knew.
You knew there was a sex doll out there.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but there's
That happened.
There's pictures of it out there,
yeah,
and
I
this,
tweeted it. Not
it's
that long
got
ago.
this wig got snatched. Let's put it that way. It's got a hairline.
His or her?
That go
It's been
It was a-
rode hard,
it's a
hung
lady
up
doll.
wet.
It's a lady doll.
It's definitely seen some shit.
my sex doll doesn't have a gender, so
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
it's called a they.
So that happened. So that was fun.
The one who said that was fun is Amy.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, did we not introduce ourselves? I think it's too late.
The one who says it's too late to introduce us is Freddy.
It's me.
It's me.
Shmee.
The one that said it's me is Andy.
I introduced myself as Kelley.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
You did, but that was wrong.
Mm.
Because I'm Kelley. The one that said that was wrong is Kelley. And the one who gasped is Mikey. I almost called you Andy.
I'm Mikey B.
If it is an old yoga shirt, bid.
Old
Mikey
yoga
B
shirt. Old yoga shirt.
is our friend in low places.
I'm the friend in low places.
If you're in a low place, you call Mikey B.
That's right. I'm bringing
What are
out.
you looking at? Freddie was looking at me. So patrons, if you wanna know stuff. Oh, are we supposed to call them members? Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Supporters of the show.
I got a member.
I bet you do.
If you are a supporter, you know that Freddie and I reviewed Searching recently.
Did you guys like it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Quite a bit.
Elise is real jazzed to see it. I
Yeah.
want to see it
Yeah.
also.
I did see the ending kind of coming at one point.
I didn't.
In your eye.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, then
my
I couldn't see
eyes.
anything.
It should have told you that was going to come before.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That's just rude.
Yeah, Deborah Messing does not give a heads up.
She's messy. And
She made a messing on your face.
She did.
we posted the latest Origins. And remember, the first 74 episodes of this show are not on the internet. We're posting them for patrons. And we talked about Kelley reviewed The Roost back in 2006.
I like The Roost.
Yeah, I kind of want to
And-
revisit that now.
Mm-hmm.
We yapped and
Ty
yipped.
West's first
Yep.
thing.
So that's out there. And we're going to have another haunt special coming your way.
Yeah, the Dent Schoolhouse.
So look for that.
It'll be out Tuesday morning.
Patreon.com/NOTLP.
We've got new Beelzebub.
Yeah.
All the way from Johannesburg.
Looks like.
South Africa. Dion, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Or ma'am.
I think it's a sir. Pretty
or
sure.
you. Thank
They.
you.
Thank they.
Thank they. And
But that's awesome. That support means a lot.
oh my gosh.
yeah.
When
don't
you
even
are
know.
a Beelzebub, you get all the benefits of being a Leviathan and a Mammon.
When
Which
you're
are
a jet, you're a jet all the way.
all the way
From your first cigarette to your last dying day.
the T-shirt, the pin, all the bonus content. But when you're a Beelzebub, you are also a producer of this show.
Wait till you see the designs, by the way, you guys.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Now my original,
good.
I know.
They are great.
they're fantastic.
Yeah,
but you-
I mean that unironic.
Oh no, he'd never.
There's no irony in your world, but
No.
the way you said it was like, oh my god, is that a
It was definitely not
a
self-deprecating. I know
sense
that
of humbleness?
most people would think that I was being self-deprecating.
Yeah, that-
I'm not. They're really good.
They're really
I
good.
outdid myself this
It was
year.
that
You really
little.
did.
It was that little chortle that came after. They're really good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, does Kelley have some humility?
No.
Nah.
I was chortling because I realized everyone's gonna think that I'm like, I'm joking. I'm not.
He's not joking. He's deadly serious. We changed vendors this year. The shirts will be softer.
Oh.
They'll be more comfortable. They're a nicer shirt.
Soft shirt is important to me.
I love these. I a lot of the pop culture T-shirt places I've been getting from have switched over to the softer, stretchier
Yes,
shirts,
I'm
and I
glad.
like the way they feel.
I do. I like that material. I like that
Like what
material on my
Mike
bed
has.
sheets too.
Yeah, I just got some Fright Rags shirts.
Yeah.
Their Stephen King collection.
My recent Fright Rags purchase, they are nice and soft.
What did you get?
I have the Strangers too, because I know some fellas in it.
And Scream, right?
I got a Scream shirt too.
But that said, the new vendor, the process of switching over, my goal was to have the shirts in our hands by Halloween so we could start mailing them to you.
Might not happen.
It might not happen. It just kind of depends. I don't know what the turnaround time is, but they should have the design ready to go soon on their end. All of our work is done. Kelley did everything there. And as far as I know, they didn't have to make any changes to anything.
Some more to come on that.
So yeah, we'll keep you posted on that front, and I'll put pictures up as soon as we get proofs back.
Yeah.
Proof of
Yeah,
life.
it's gonna be delayed because a sweatshop that we get them from was actually
Right.
shut down.
A lot of kids died.
Yeah.
All of them
Yes.
died, so they had to
Exhaustion.
wait for new kids to get
Yeah, to
born.
get born.
Yeah.
So there are
Yeah.
new kids on the block.
Born.
Yep. Porned it up.
we pass the savings on to you guys.
Aw.
Hey, you want to save a buck? We all do.
It's like, do you want to pay American prices and get burlap shirts? No, you don't.
Would you like a hair shirt?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I can clean out Jacqueline and make one for you.
Mm.
A dog hair
Oh.
shirt. All right. Anything else before we move on?
Mm-mm.
Cool, bros. We'll be right back.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
Welcome back, my loves.
Oh, welcome back.
Kelley.
Freddie just refreshed me with a nice big old skull full of water.
Yes. Or is it piss?
Enjoy it. Drink
If-
some more, and I'll tell you how I made it.
If it is piss, he's very, very hydrated.
That is refreshing piss.
Yeah, that is completely
If that's
clear.
piss, sign me up for more piss.
All right, friend.
Oh, I watched Delirium.
Yeah.
Oof, it was disappointing.
You mean you had expectations that were set at a certain level when you went into it?
No, I had zero expectations when I went into it, as I almost always do with these. Then it gave me some things, and I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then it was super dumb.
This guy did direct another movie that I like called Plus One. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one. Just
is
to
a good
say
one.
something nice at the beginning.
Oh, well, here's the thing. There are some genuinely good spooks and scares.
Yeah.
Some real creepy moments. But the overall story is just preposterous, and it's not even that the overall story is preposterous. It's the way it's told is goofy, and let me just tell you. So it's Topher Grace, the poor man's Elijah Wood in this movie.
No.
He's playing Elijah Wood, but not as good as Elijah Wood would.
How much wood could Elijah Wood? Elijah Wood could wood.
And he's playing at the beginning. He's being released from this weird mental institute that wouldn't exist. Where like first he's like, it looks like they make it look like he's just in his therapist's office, and it's like wood paneled and all these books. And then at the end of the session, they're like, "All right, well, I'm going to recommend that you be released, and you just have to do this." And then these doors open in the side of the office, and it's inside a mental institution.
I mean, it reveals like it's a set piece.
It's like the door. Yes, the wall basically opens, and it's a white hallway, and you hear screams.
It's like a Twilight Zone episode or something.
Or Mission Impossible. Like they were just fooling him into thinking he was in a...
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so it turns out he's done something horrible in his life to put him in this institution, and he's on parole now. And then Patricia Clarkson, who I thought was going to be good, but who was terrible, plays like his... I don't know if she's a parole officer or a caretaker, but she's real shitty to him. And she takes him to this house. His father was some kind of politician, and they had money. And his father just committed suicide a few days before his release. And she takes him, so he's going to be in his old, huge, rich house. And they've rigged this. Again, this is just so, like, what? To check in, he has to, there's like a phone in the middle of the house, this huge house. And there's a phone in the middle of it, and it rings, and it has 10 rings, and he has to pick up the phone by the 10th ring and stand in front of a little camera so it can take a picture of him to let them know that he's there.
What if he's in the shower?
Exactly.
Or in the shitter?
There's an indoor pool, like Herb Baumeister's pool. Anybody know about Herb Baumeister? The guy in Ohio who's a serial killer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
he strangled guys in that pool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think this was sort of supposed to remind you of that. It looks exactly like it. What if he's in the fucking pool?
Yeah, just living his life. Taking a deep shit.
10 rings? What if, yeah.
You supposed to be running to that with turds coming out of your butt?
Plus, they don't do that. No one does that.
No.
That's not a thing that even happens. It was dumb. Then Patricia Clarkson comes on to him weirdly. It's all super weird. And then there's this Genesis Rodriguez lady, and she is like a delivery girl, and she's super into him for no apparent reason. It's all just a mess, and he keeps seeing ghosts, and then his brother shows up maybe, but it might be a figment of his imagination. And is he crazy? Is it ghosts? Turns out, I'm going to spoil this, him and his brother murdered some girl that he liked when they were little, and he watched it happen, and his brother went to prison, he went to psycho camp, and his dad was Bill Pullman.
Oh.
Huh.
It was just dumb. Like I said, there was a really cool moment where he was in the pool by himself. Well, obviously he's always by himself, and he's swimming, and all of a sudden there's like an electric pool cover that comes over it, and it starts to close while he's in the pool, and it's like closing on him, and it's almost about to trap him, and he like climbs out. It almost catches his little ding dong.
His ding dong is hanging out?
Well, no, but like as he climbs out, like
his ding dong falls out?
Is he swimming naked?
No, he does later.
Really,
he does
really
swim.
titillated the.
Yeah, we want to know. Is this Topher Grace's wiener got stuck in an electric pool cover?
He does swim naked later, but he's just as he's climbing out, like
for the Topher Grace of God. They almost had him.
He's just crawling, like he's dragging his ding dong area across the closing lid.
Oh, that is so cute. They call it a ding dong
of a pool, and I was just like, "Woo! Get it out of there! You're going to get snipped.
You're gonna lose your gizmo."
So that was kind of a cool, tense moment.
So what is haunting or supposedly haunting the house?
Is it real?
Is it in his mind?
Yeah.
What? You never know?
No. I don't think. I think it's supposed to all be in his mind, maybe. But he hears like thumps and bumps.
Pumps under the bump?
Pumps in the bump. Again, you don't know if his brother is played as if he's there, but he's not.
Pumps in the bumps in the night.
Yeah. Rex in effect.
Rubber shakers.
There it is. I
ain't into treating every trick that I'm meeting.
Oh.
Nah.
Bitches ain't shit.
But hoes and treads.
So, Lick these balls inside.
So you didn't like it.
I didn't. I wanted to. Topher Grace was good.
I like him. I know he's milquetoast for a lot of people, but I've always enjoyed him.
He's a good actor, and he
is a good actor. I agree.
He was good, and I wanted better for him.
Yeah.
Actually, the whole cast in this is pretty solid.
Genesis Rodriguez was terrible.
Is she?
She was in this. I've never seen her in anything else.
She was a voice in Big Hero 6.
Yeah. Well, she was.
Which I love.
She was awful in this.
Yeah.
Just like not convincing at all. Patricia Clarkson, not good. Topher Grace was really the only good one, and Bill Pullman. He was only in it for a second.
Was the house nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like this big old. It was kind of like The Shining. Like they really were trying to give you a bunch of different things. There was like The Shining and mostly just The Shining.
Oh.
Okay.
Go watch it if you like a ghost movie. There were, like I said, thumps and bumps. You want to go through that all again?
Lovely lady bumps.
You know what? Do you know what Genesis Rodriguez was bad in the movie?
Why?
It's because Phil Collins left her.
Aww. What about Peter Gabriel?
He's still in Genesis Rodriguez.
Peter Gabriel Rodriguez.
All right. Well, thanks, Kelley. You did a good
You're
job.
welcome.
You're a good boy.
Aw, thanks.
You're a good boy.
I get ice cream?
So, do you get to see Christopher? I almost call him Christopher, but
How dare you?
His name is Topher.
Chris Grace?
Did you get to
Let's
see?
just call him Grace.
Did you get to see his butt?
Nope.
Oh.
You sort of saw his side hip as he pulled his shorts back
Did he
on.
pull out some side dick?
Side hip.
When he turned around, was his dick hanging
You
down?
didn't see any neck.
His thigh gap?
Why are we so into this?
I don't know.
You guys are weird.
We're trying to figure out what Donna saw on him.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hanging out.
Oh, you really want him to be, but he's not. Okay, movie gun, movie bullet. Freddie, you're up first.
Okay.
You ready? You live.
I didn't even say I was ready.
Me. Am I ready? Me? I'm ready. I live. Mikey B. Dead. Did you feel that in your very soul?
Did.
He really did feel it.
Yeah, I felt it.
So I didn't realize, it never occurred to me to go to Hoopla, which if your local library uses this app, it's a really
Hoopla.
fantastic app.
There it is, Law.
We should tell about our mishap last night.
Well, we thought Truth or Dare, the one that was in the theaters a few months ago, was on Hoopla, so we're going to watch it. We
I've
start
used
watching
Hoopla.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're like, oh, this isn't the one that was in the theaters. This is a sci-fi one that just came out.
It came out the same year.
Called Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
And it was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
I recommend it. But I was like, oh, let's see what Hoopla has to give us.
It
for
took
horror
us,
movies.
what, about 10 minutes to figure out it wasn't the
I
Blumhouse
was
movie?
like, where's Lucy Hale?
I know.
But anyway. So here's the movie. It's on Hoopla.
Hoopla.
And it's called Attack of the Killer Donuts.
Kelly's just stone-faced right now.
This sounds horrible.
It stars C. Thomas Howell. You
Oh,
ready?
Thank God.
I blame you.
Thank God this wasn't me.
A chemical accident in a sleepy town turns ordinary donuts into bloodthirsty monsters.
Yeah.
Unaware of the donuts' danger, Johnny, Michelle, and Howard
Eat a shit ton of donuts.
sell them to unsuspecting customers.
Those
When
dummies.
the donuts start eating their victims, the only way the three friends can save their sleepy town is to track down the killer donuts
This sounds like a sketch on
and
Mad TV.
destroy them. The final standoff is where it all began. Dandy Donuts.
I just want you to know that while you're
Hate
reading
me.
that, I looked it up. Well, a little bit, but I pulled up Attack of the Killaho.
Well, that'll be next week's.
So
Is that on Hoopla?
It is on Attack of the
Yeah.
Killaho.
That's your tax
It's on
dollars at
Hoopla.
work, by the way.
All right, I've got it.
Hoopla supported by your tax
If
dollars.
you don't know about Hoopla and your local library does let you use it, like audiobooks for days and comic books.
It's great for reading
Yeah.
comic books. If you have a larger tablet, it's perfect.
Yeah, we love it. So enjoy that and Libby and Overdrive, of course.
Hoopla.
Cool. So sorry,
and
Mike.
Lynda.com.
And Linda
Oh, through your library.
through your
I
library.
thought you were just naming library things, and then I
Oh.
realized you were naming apps.
I thought you said lady.com for a minute there.
Lady.com. When you need the company of a lady.
I'm a big time user of our library.
Me too.
system. I love it.
Yes, if you ever live in Cincinnati, get yourself a card. You can use lynda.com.
Or you could probably do that in most states, right?
I don't know.
Was it called Kelly? I thought you said Linda.
It is Linda.
Linda?
Lynda.com.
It's like an online learning platform.
There's all kinds of training videos.
And normally
Really?
you have to pay for
Oh.
it, but through the library you can use it for free.
That's right.
Oh, that's cool.
for freezies.
I've learned a lot of animation stuff there.
I just
And They have our library just announced yoga videos that we have access to. I forget the name of the service.
Self-care stuff?
Yeah, the old guy at Echo spearheaded that.
Yes, he did.
That's where he had that shirt.
Yeah. Anyway, it's cool. I love the Cincinnati Library very much.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys ready to move on
Yep.
with our lives?
Absolutely.
All right. We're done with 9/11 podcast.
Do you know what you can do? You know what you can do with our library, Amy?
You can 3D print a gun.
You can
Probably.
Yeah.
Listeners, listen to what you can do with our library. You can request a book from any branch.
Yep.
Anywhere, including the huge downtown one.
Mm-hmm.
They'll bring it to your library. And if you're like us, your branch has a drive-through window. You don't even have to get out of your car.
You don't have to get out of your car.
Mm-hmm.
They will give it to you, and you can drop it back off
Yeah.
without getting out of your car.
Yep.
It's amazing. For free.
Andy and I both used to work for our library.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for saying this, but I'm going to say this. I don't buy books. I get them from the library.
I try to only get them from the library.
I mean, I have my Kindle and then I read the real books. And I just have, I'm always working it. I sometimes all my holds come in at one time, which is very stressful.
There is one author you can't get at the Cincinnati Public Library.
Uh-oh.
And that's R.K. Kombrinck.
R.K.
So
Kombrinck.
you still need to buy books sometimes.
Again, Kelley, you're...
Oh, yeah, I do have a new collection out. People have been reading it every day, but no one's bought one since it stopped being free.
Oh.
But anyway, it's available, and it's called Empty and Waiting. If you love me and you don't already have it, or if you do already have it,
My mom said she was going to buy one.
go buy
Yeah,
it.
I need to buy one.
It's on Amazon.
You ever going to go and do the iBooks route at all? Because I like iBooks.
I don't know what that is.
It's the Apple version of Kindle.
Oh, no, I should look into that.
Can you look into that for me?
Mm-hmm.
If you put it on there, I'll buy it right away.
Yeah.
I'll probably buy it. I'll buy it either way, but I'd like it on an iBook.
Oh, I think I have a physical copy for you.
Physical?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
We're going to get physical.
Yeah.
I'm going to read your book right after I read Colossus.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, as soon as you're done with
It's Henry
Colossus.
Miller.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. This week's main attractions are threefold. Rankin Bass' Jack-o'-lantern.
Ugh.
Spoiler. Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, Fear Itself. And the episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the McPoyle wedding.
No, the Maureen Ponderosa Wedding Massacre.
That's
Yeah.
what I meant.
That's very sexist of you to
Yeah, Freddy.
automatically
Yeah.
go to the male's name first.
Two good things and one bad thing, and it's up to you, listener, to guess
Yes.
through
Yeah.
the clues that we leave you via the reviews.
Those,
Which
the clues in our reviews.
the clues in our reviews are for you to choose.
Oh.
Yeah, who
So-
picked that awful Rankin and Bass one? Oh my gosh. It's
Uh,
a poor reflection on that person.
Yeah, let's
We
start
can
there.
start off with this.
Yeah.
I regret my decision to pick the Talking Irish Pumpkin Show. It was horrible.
Why you gotta put a leprechaun in a Halloween thing? They don't mix.
None of it worked.
It's
And
terrible.
So it leads me to believe that there's leprechauns and pumpkins all the time now.
You get your green beer out of my pumpkin
Yeah,
beer.
I'm gonna go to a pumpkin patch and just kick them all. Like, hey, you got a leprechaun in there?
So what?
so,
Here's the story.
well, hold on.
All right.
So we were trying to decide what to choose, and Andy very kindly found this Wikipedia page with a whole bunch of Halloween specials, and immediately I saw Rankin Bass one, and I love Rankin Bass. Anything,
Sure.
They're
Anything.
Tolkien things.
He also likes Franklin and Bash.
I do.
He just likes the phonetic sound of those words.
I love Rosolian Isles.
Do you think this is a good metaphor
What's the
You think-
metaphor?
for meta.
for
English.
men?
Sorry.
You're like, I love anything Rankin and Bass. I love it.
And then
you-
I saw they had Halloween.
And you're like, oh, this is bad because a thing I love has a bad thing.
Now, Rankin and Bass is like the Rudolph, right?
Yes, they did. They did those
The stop
motion,
motion,
and they did The Hobbit and The Return of the King.
And did they do the Heat Miser one?
They did all of the
Yeah.
Meister Burger and like the Baby Time. And
They're also kind of known for what happened to you two with the Truth or Dare. They're kind of known for like when Disney or whatever was coming out with stuff of doing knockoffs.
Well, yeah,
They're like the
Lots and
animation
lots of-
asylum?
Yes.
they did The Last Unicorn.
Yeah, the opening was very Disney, where they open the book and talk about the story they're going to talk about.
But I was saying, like, the metaphor is we have heroes, and then you learn your heroes aren't perfect.
They're not perfect.
Yeah, don't meet your heroes, right?
This is problematic. This is the essence of a problematic fave.
So can you give us a little backstory on Rankin and Bass in case the listeners don't know like what the whole thing is with those guys?
We just talked about it.
They talked about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anything about them personally. I just
Can you tell me like what at any time were they at a party with Dr. Blasey Ford?
Yes.
Okay.
Do they like beer?
Do they like beer? They still like beer? Anyways, Jack-o'-lantern.
Call your senators. Jack-o'-lantern, 19...
Oh, you're doing a Kavanaugh thing.
Oh, I got you. I was
just covering my tracks for missing that you actually talked about it already.
No, thank you.
I was...
Fuck you, dude.
I was lost too, Kelley.
Yeah, thanks. We just froze.
Yeah, sorry.
I waited for it to be over. Which is exactly what you should do in this situation and in a bear attack.
Two beautiful children
you make
are
yourself
visiting
bigger.
their grandfather, and they're like, tell us a story. And he's like, okay.
Everything about everyone in this, first of all, the minute they arrive, they're demanding their grandfather tell them a goddamn story.
Yeah.
Immediately. But now...
Hi, Grandpa. How's your heart? You been to the doctor lately? Where's Grandma? Is her knee feeling better? None of that.
No.
Right.
It's Grandpa! Entertain us! Meh! They weren't that bad. I just noticed it when I was watching it. Then he tells a story about when he was their age, them and their great aunt Colleen, his sister, I assume, and his dad takes them from the big city.
Yeah, he looks like Leonard Nimoy, by the way.
He does look like Leonard Nimoy. Takes him to a farm. I guess he's one of those guys like he gets too stressed out on Wall Street and he's like, I want to live the simple life.
He's like, I could probably beat my wife easier out here where nobody can see us.
But now they can't even get milk if the cow doesn't give them milk.
Yeah, they're starving and dying.
And their farm looks like it's made of dust.
It's burning and freezing every night. Nothing can grow.
And he's telling his children, we are going to die probably. And no matter what idea they come up with, he's like, no, nothing will work. I'm going to go inside.
That's a horrible thing to tell your kids. We're going to starve.
Mm-hmm.
We could eat my shotgun, kids.
It's like we can move, but nope.
Sorry, kids. I didn't mean to bring you out here for this failure.
It's like you signed up for this family, you're going to stay with this family.
Rankin Bass's 1922.
The Dust Bowl.
So they decide, the little boy stupidly thinks if he builds a better scarecrow, somehow that'll fix everything. Mm-hmm. But he ends up just bringing a pumpkin to life.
Well, the thing is confusing, right? It's just it's a leprechaun jammed in a pumpkin.
And the leprechaun lives in the pumpkin, right?
Like a genie in a lamp.
No, he said that he wanted to take a nap.
I'm so tired. Why are you waking me up? I'm in a pumpkin.
He's like, so I turned myself into a pumpkin seed so I could get some rest. And then you picked my pumpkin and carved it up to make a head for your scarecrow.
Instead of just laying down and going to sleep.
Yeah.
That's a very circuitous way of getting a nap.
Yeah, it seems like you could just close your eyes.
Just lay down.
And why the fuck is this leprechaun out in the middle of Kansas or wherever the fuck this was?
Like, you're a magical creature. You can turn yourself into a pumpkin seed, but you can't make a bed.
Yeah.
So the
animals can talk also.
Yeah, they're cow
and they're homophobes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That goat. I wanted that goat to die because it just was like, I'm a goat. Yep. And I was in a weird mood, so I was just like, this needs to end.
Can you give us a little background on that goat?
He was just like,
was that the homophobe?
Yeah. I think
was it the goat?
Homophobic.
So it turns out the leprechaun's like, oh, I know what's going on with your farm. It's that witch and her husband.
You know,
like witches do.
Mm-hmm.
And I can defeat her. So you meet me out here at midnight, kids. Don't tell your dad.
Just come on out to the field, kids. Don't tell it's our secret, you know. Don't tell anyone.
Kelley, you had never seen this before?
No, I never have.
Because I felt like the leprechaun in this at one point really was based on your leprechaun with the yeah, felt very reminiscent of your.
I'm going to sell these children to passing ruffians and use the money to buy a bed. No, I've never seen it.
Maybe it's just part of the language, the story.
No, I get it. I see the synergy. I sort of lost track of I lost the thread of this story. There
was no thread.
Easy to do.
Jack O'Lantern from the
of the Lantern family.
Of the O'Lanterns.
They make lanterns.
He Midnight, the witch and her husband.
From the old call.
Zelda and Archibald the sissy. I mean Warlock.
They want to retire on this farm. They want the land. So in order to get it, they're trying to drive the farmer and his family off the land. So every night they freeze and burn the fields.
And so
with
Fanny
their
Flagg
ghosts
and
and
Charles
demons.
Nelson Riley.
And so Jack helps defeat them.
Yeah, I learned that there's there are blood enemies, witches and leprechauns.
Yeah.
You know what you didn't learn about? Trick-or-treating.
Or Halloween.
Or Halloween or candy.
I mean, there were ghosts, witches, and a pumpkin and a scarecrow.
And a leprechaun.
And the specter of starvation for children, which are all very
That's
good.
pretty scary.
I mean, in a roundabout way, but you can pull trees and snow and turkey and cookies into something. Doesn't make it Christmas.
What do you think kids thought in 1972, 2 days before Halloween? They all gather around their television.
I think they thought that's about right.
And they're like, oh yeah.
Because nothing made sense then.
That's true. Everything was a hot mess, like HR Puff and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids were just happy to get anything.
Yeah.
So this was dumb, but if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube.
So I apologize. This was my choice.
It was fun for a minute. It
so
wasn't
your
long.
bed. You're gonna sleep in it.
It looked like it was gonna be fun because when Andy suggested it, he didn't suggest it. When he showed us the wiki page, I went to the link and I just watched 10 seconds of it. And I was like, oh, this will be cute. Nope.
No?
No.
I'm sorry.
It's dumb.
So, did we address that the goat called the warlock a sissy?
We didn't. We
When
didn't
did
talk
this come
about
out again?
72.
Yes, I mean.
And they're like, because the warlock is like, oh, I hate children. Oh. And then he has to watch them. And the one goat's like, I don't trust that sissy.
Do you think?
And there was real hate in his voice.
Yeah.
It was upsetting.
All right, well.
Hilarious.
That was that. Let's move to your other choice, Kelley.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Fear Itself.
Yes, Buffy TVS.
Oh. I haven't seen an episode of Buffy in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
And so when it came on and then the theme music came on, my heart grew 2 sizes.
It was cozy.
It was so cozy.
It was just.
It was easy.
It was just recalled at a certain moment in my life.
Emotional muscle memory kicked in.
Mm-hmm. It was nice to settle back into it. Felt like, hadn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
I forgot how Xander, what a great character Xander was at making everybody feel good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact about this episode. That's the house from the first season of American Horror Story.
Is it?
Really?
What, the fraternity house?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Intentionally?
it's totally different.
Yeah, it's the same house.
Was there a reason? Or just because it's on a studio lot somewhere?
No, it's a real house.
It's a real house.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just curious if there was a connection or anything.
I guess whoever owns it saw there was money to be made, letting people film
That's a
there.
good connection.
I'm just guessing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was fun.
So Buffy gets hit and quit
Oh, yeah.
in the episode.
Parker.
Jerk.
I feel that she kind of overreacted a little bit.
I feel like she did as well.
She did, but she was going through a time.
I understand
You gotta learn
that. I understand that. And it's, your first.
Buffy's been through a lot of trauma.
Mm-hmm. But still.
Okay, let's give her a little bit of break. But yeah, that was.
It's also really the first human being she's tried to hook up with since before she became the Slayer.
Yeah, it's like, don't expect to get married after he fucks you.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Or dudes.
Or dudes.
Yeah. Just own your sexuality. Just call it what it is.
So she's real mopey.
Mm-hmm. Too mopey.
But Willow and Oz want to go to this party.
Yeah, they do.
But then Xander's kind of having a minute.
Well, because all his buddies are in college.
Yeah.
And he's just like a loser. Lives with his uncle Rory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
And everybody keeps reminding him.
Yeah.
Like Anya's like, why do you hang out with them? They're in college. You're a loser.
Well, that's very Anya-ish.
It is very Anya.
She's like autistic, basically, and she tells it like it is.
Do we remember what happened with Anya and Xander leading up to that? Because was there a breakup?
No, they just hooked up.
Yeah.
They had just hooked up. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
like-
forgetting where on the timeline that was.
It was right after Anya became human again.
Okay.
And she and Xander hookied up, and then in an opposite of Parker and Buffy, Xander's like, I accept you, Anya, and I would like to explore a relationship with you long term. And so he invites her along for the party.
This is where you get the first instance of Anya's fear of bunny
Of
rabbits.
bunnies.
Yeah.
Bunnies! I really like the concept of this frat party they're going to, where you're supposed to go through a haunted house portion to get to the party. I'm like, that's kind of fun.
There's a nice little homage to Stephen King's The Mangler in this episode, and that as they're putting the big symbol on the floor upstairs, like they paint a symbol, like a occult symbol on
They
the
just
floor.
want something spooky. These dumb frat kids, they don't know.
Yeah, they have no imagination.
And one of them cuts themselves, not to spoil
Oz
the
does.
Oz does, yeah.
Oz, yeah. Not to spoil the Mangler for anybody, but he kind of whips his hand after he cuts it, and some of his blood goes into the circle, half calling forth a demon. And that's kind of what happens in the Mangler a
And
little
it
bit.
turns out that it's a fear demon. So when everybody get to the house,
Graknok,
Buffy Xander,
Garknark, what's his name?
Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, the fear demon.
No, it's Chris Gaines. But
Gaknar.
Gaknar. They get there.
He's covered in gack.
Nickelodeon gag?
It's the
Gack.
sequel to Slime.
So it's Buffy, Willow, Oz, and Xander get there, and Anya hasn't quite gotten there yet. And they get into the house, and they're like there's nobody there, and they don't understand. And they're like, things start happening where Xander, nobody can see him or hear him, and so it's his fear of being, invisible to his friends.
Oh, and Willow is trying to be a witch, and everybody's like, why don't you calm down with that witch shit, bitch?
Which, they were right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
later,
They're kind of vicious to each other in this episode.
Yeah, well, I think it's exacersated by
Yeah.
the house, but
Yeah.
like it's
No,
like
even leading up to that, there was a lot of tension.
well, they're all pissy, and
except for Giles. Giles is down to just wear a sombrero and hand out candy.
well, then they're shitty to him. They're like, why are you doing this?
Right.
Why can't you just be Giles?
Right.
And he's like, I'm a person.
Because everybody's just trying to get what they need out of each other instead of...
Not to mention, this is supposed to be their break.
Yeah,
Halloween is supposed to be when things calm down for these people.
It never does it?
Giles is my favorite, by the way. I don't know if I've ever
Yeah.
told everyone.
I
this,
love Giles.
but he's my favorite.
Well, there was this moment where Anya goes to get him. She's like, something's wrong with this house. Like, the window disappeared when she went up to the house because it's, haunted by a fear demon. And she goes to get Giles to get help. And they get to the house and he's like, there's no door. And he's like, I guess we got to make a door. And you expect him to do like something magical, but he gets a chainsaw
Because he's awesome.
and he makes a fucking door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
it was super cool.
Yeah.
Giles is a badass. That's why I love him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for you guys, did it hold up for you?
Yeah.
Yes. If I'm looking at it objectively, I noticed a couple things. Some of the acting
Yeah.
was hit or miss.
Of the main cast or the supporting?
Both.
Okay.
But not in a way that takes away from it. You know what I mean?
I kind of noticed the dialogue in a way I didn't notice it before, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I
Because
see
we
how
were
you're-
younger?
Well, I
Yeah.
feel like for me, I don't think it has personally. It hasn't aged well. Personally, because it's just a little too cutesy. Like the dialogue, especially.
Yeah.
It's just so Whedon-esque.
I think you can see it, and if you love it like we do, I think you can get past it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Do you know how many
Yeah,
years ago this episode aired?
Like 20. Was it 20?
19.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It'll be 19 years ago.
But it
this
just
month.
seems like that time where like they had all those teen dramas where they talked like nobody talks like that.
Yeah, but
It's like-
I
it's
still love
very-
Scream. I still
very
love
Dawson's
Dawson's
Creek.
Creek.
Yeah,
It's
I
like the
still
birth
love
of meta
I-
language.
I
But
feel
I do
like that-
notice it.
There were critics that complained about that at the time.
Yeah.
That I think we didn't see it as much.
I didn't see as much because I thought these people were so cool and like witty, but
Mhm.
they're kind of exhausting for me, honestly.
I still
yeah,
love it.
yeah, like in real life. Yeah.
The dialogue didn't really bother me. Like I said, for me, it was more some of the acting. And it was just the line delivery. Even it wasn't even the emoting. But I think sometimes for them to like the dialogue itself I didn't notice, but the way they delivered it. Sometimes I did like it was almost, especially like again, I love Xander.
Yeah,
but Nicholas Brendan's like line delivery sometimes is very like.
Well, I never noticed it, but he reminded me of a lot of Chandler.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's the Chandler of the Scoobies.
And Willow reminded me a lot of Phoebe.
Yeah.
Just not just the characters, but the way they both acted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Allison Hannigan and Anthony Stewart Head were the most solid of all the actors. Like they, at no point did I ever like see the strings. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah Michelle Gellar. She has like great, like she has moments where she's in and out. The rest of them all kind of have moments where they're in and out.
Well, it's like I feel like her character was kind of annoying this episode, and that was conveyed in the performance.
Like you're getting on Elsa's nerves.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Elsa doesn't like what you're saying.
I don't know what she could have done with that. What she was given.
Yeah, but I still loved it. It was so great.
It's like a warm blanket.
Yeah.
I feel like Gagnar was pretty great.
Gagnar was great, especially when he's teeny tiny.
Yeah. Adam Bitterman. You think he's a bitter man?
Because he's so tiny.
You can't find a bitter man.
Did we reveal that yet? The big reveal at the end of the episode
is that he was actual size. There's a picture of him in the magic book, and they're like Giles is terrified of what happens. That is actually a really great moment where he's like, if you destroying the demon's mark, and like Buffy immediately destroys it, and he's like, is not what you're supposed to do. We'll immediately bring him into this world.
And they play a camera trick where he comes emerging out of the hole in the floor, and you think he's this giant demon. But then they cut back to the entire group, and he's only like maybe a foot tall.
He's not even a foot tall. He's like
itty bitty.
So Buffy steps on him.
This is the freshman year of college. This is Adam.
Yes.
Is this the weakest season?
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny though? This is the first season I ever saw. So for me, I have a really special like this as because I had thought what a stupid idea. I was like 20 something, and I guess I'd aged out maybe a little bit of this type of show, and I'd heard Buffy the Vampire Slayer for a few years, and I was like, this just sounds so stupid. And then I just happened to catch the season premiere of 4, and it hooked me in then, and that's how I ended up going back and watching all of them. So this has a special place for me.
I'll have to say, I do like this season. I know a lot of people had said that this was like one of their least favorite seasons, and I always really enjoyed it. I liked the initiative, and I thought Adam was a stupid big bad.
Yeah, I think he's the worst big bad.
But I liked them catching all the demons. I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
You also see the kind of the beginnings of the seeds for Cabin in the Woods with the initiative, I think.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
What was her boyfriend's name in this one?
Finn.
I didn't... No, is it Finn?
Who are we talking about?
Her boyfriend.
Buffy,
Riley?
Yeah. Oh, Riley.
Yeah.
Riley Finn.
I feel like he was kind of a albatross.
Oh, yeah. He's also a very bad actor.
Yeah.
Riley Finn, yeah. That's why we call him Finn.
So fear
Finn.
But I would like to revisit this and see if the other episodes hold up for me.
Season 3, I would go back to.
Yeah, that was season 3 was my first season, and that I feel that was like my favorite season.
I think it's the strongest, probably.
It is season 3 is the strongest and best. I watched from the gig. I watched from season 1 on. I always really enjoyed it
when it aired.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and I've said like that I probably would never go back and watch all of it through again because it's very emotional and it's a lot, and I've done it like 3 times all the way through. But Elise and I were just talking, and we were like, maybe I would do this again.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might.
Mm-hmm.
Go back.
It's a big time investment when you think about the number of hours. Like
because we were also talking about doing Angel. So yes, you
got to do it. Yeah, at a certain point you have to switch over and do them side by side.
There's certain episodes I would have to skip though.
Yeah,
certain ones. Too much.
Just because they're too heavy?
Yeah.
Like the body?
Yeah. Oh, can't do that one again.
Or
I didn't watch that
thing in this world. Still live in it.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 145 episodes of Buffy.
I started late too, Freddie, because I watched the movie with Paul Rubens in the movie theater and thought that was horrible.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Was not willing to reconnect when that show started.
I liked the movie right away, but then again, I haven't seen it in 20 years. So
well, what's funny about Buffy. I also didn't like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, the first time I saw it, but it actually, I think, aged into being worth watching.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, like I
see it probably
revisited
being
it.
pretty cheesy is why I probably didn't like it when I was in my...
That's why I didn't like it.
It has some camp value that I think you'd appreciate as an adult.
In fact, actually, do you remember I called you guys at the right after that episode where Buffy saves the world at the end of Glory's season when we watched it as it aired, and like immediately I called you guys after it was over. I was like, oh my God.
We were, that was something I think we all bonded over in that time.
It's what made me and Amy and Freddie and Matt. Well, he's not on the show, but we used to have Buffy Tuesdays.
Yep, Buffy Tuesdays.
Where we used to get dinner and watch Buffy together. And that's kind of what made me really good friends with you guys.
Yeah. So Buffy brings a lot.
So
to
if you
the
have 109 hours to spare, watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV series, and then if you have an additional half that, maybe watch Angel.
More than half. Angel's 5 seasons. Buffy was 7.
Yeah.
Oh, quick aside. Remember when her professor popped up? I was like, oh, Jane Lynch. And turns out
she does remind me of Jane Lynch.
The poor man's Jane Lynch.
Turns out it's not her.
No.
The poor man's Jane Lynch that can't act.
All right, then. Let's talk about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Let's do.
Yeah. What was the name of the episode again, Andy?
The Maureen Ponderosa Wedding Massacre.
Directed by
Elmo DeMelmo. Right?
Elmo DeMelmo.
Oh, he directed the episode?
Oh, didn't he?
No,
he was in it.
I think he's made a cameo as
I thought he directed
Poppy
it.
McPoyle.
Never mind. I'm an idiot. He was in it.
Yeah. This is such a great horror episode. It's so scary.
But I feel like people who don't watch the series would kind of be lost because there's so many references to previous episodes.
Do you watch
struggled.
it, Mike? Yeah.
No, I don't. I've seen episodes that everyone's going, oh, you got to see this, but there was a lot of not a lot of confusion. It was still funny. It was still very entertaining, but there were certain things I knew I was missing.
I think if you watch the series up until this point, that there are all these throwbacks that would mean a lot more to you if you got them.
Is the series itself kind of known for misunderstanding type? I mean, that bit seemed to play in this episode a lot of the car got wrecked because this, but then you're like, no, from this perspective, it was.
They do that.
It's a lot of convoluted. There are all kinds of
and everybody
confusion.
has their own idea of what really happened. It's
perspective stuff. Gotcha.
I loved Frank's suit and Crocs combo.
Yep.
I thought that was great. Do you want to?
Well, it's hard. It's hard to describe the episode without describing everything that happened before.
The McPoyles are gross.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're enemies of the group of Dee, Mac, Charlie, and Dennis.
Frank.
Yeah, Dennis and Frank. They're kind of like they're like,
They're
enemies.
just disgusting.
Yeah.
They're trashier. When you think that the gang is the trashiest people, they bring in the McPoyles to show you, oh no.
They're literally like an inbred family.
It's like the Peacock family.
Yeah.
They're just
X-Files.
They're not all as deformed as that. But
they always drink milk.
Yeah, they're it remind me. The family reminded me, especially in this episode, a lot of Texas Chainsaw.
Oh yeah, the crawling McPoyle,
the contortionist.
Yeah, it's just
oh
The thing is,
really scary.
The gang's going to this wedding because Dennis wants to make sure that Maureen Ponderosa gets married because that's his ex-wife and he's paying alimony.
Dennis married Maureen Ponderosa, and then divorced her, and he has to pay her alimony, and he hates it, and she has a dead tooth.
But she got it fixed.
She did get it fixed. Her brother Bill had a thing with Dee, and he has a horrible drug problem. And Frank is his sponsor.
And a horrible sponsor at that.
Yeah. And so Dennis wants to go to this wedding just to make sure it happens. She's marrying Liam. Who is that actor? I love that
Jimmy
guy.
Simpson.
Thank you.
He's in Westworld.
He's in a million things.
Yeah.
He's always great.
He popped up in Zodiac. Remember that?
No, but I believe you.
He's in the Knights of Badassdom. I love his face.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a great. He's just great to watch.
Yeah.
But he's gonna marry her. So Dennis wants to make sure this happens so he can get her to sign the goddamn papers and stop paying alimony. The rest of the gang comes along for various other reasons.
Well, Frank and Dee come to make sure that it doesn't happen.
Yes.
So that Dennis has to keep paying alimony because they're just assholes like that.
Yeah.
And then so they're out in the middle of the woods in this bat-ridden shithole.
Frank gets bit by a bat.
And there's like chronological, like they play with the timing, so you kind of see some stuff ahead, and then you
the
see
framing is them being interrogated by the police.
all covered in blood, and
so it's a Rashomon type of story where you have each of them retelling their perspective of what happened to the police detectives, and Dia's not there. You have the four men, but Dia's missing.
Well, it fits into like the series because she's always left out.
Yeah.
They locked her in a freezer because they thought she was
A zombie.
Yeah. Charlie and Mac were for sure that there was a zombie outbreak happening.
And Charlie has a really amazing recreation of the Quint USS Indianapolis speech from Jaws
for no reason too.
Yeah, and then they say, "Are you just doing Jaws, dude?"
Yeah. Well, it's funny because he transitions from talking about zombies to saying he'd seen it in rats.
Yeah.
And there's a running gag on the show of Charlie and rats.
He kills rats.
Yeah. Like he climbs through the ventilation in the bar and kills rats with the screwdriver.
It's like a bat.
Well, and the rat crusher. He's got the, what does he call it?
I can't remember.
I think it's like a bat with barbed wire around it. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's just it's like a club. It's not even a bat.
Yeah.
It's like a club.
Some of the joke in this is that the McPoyles and their family are so fucking weird. You don't know if really there's a zombie outbreak. Is it a rabies from the bats, or are they just fucking weird?
It could be any or all of the above.
Well, there's also Pappy McPoyle's story he tells to Charlie Day. Yeah, where he talks about the baby McPoyle that tried to eat him, but he ate it first.
Yeah.
I love that moment.
There's just so much happening.
Yeah.
Everything is happening. Liam and his... What's the brother's name again?
Ripper? I don't remember.
I only ever remember Liam's name.
The McPoyles have this running gag where they're a couple.
Yeah, it's Liam.
It's very,
Liam and Ryan.
It's very incestuous.
Yeah, and creepy.
Yeah, and at one point they walk in on Liam or no, who's
Ryan.
Ryan
Down in
knees.
front of Liam.
Yeah. Knees,
Looks like he's blowing him.
Yeah.
But it's really just begging for forgiveness for trying to stop the wedding, because Ryan's like, you can't get married to a non-McPoyle. Our
You gotta keep the
bloodline
blood pure.
has been pure for thousands of years, which means they've all got unibrows. And I'm not saying that's a sign of incest, but it is in this show.
It definitely is in this show.
And was it the milk?
Oh, he put Bill Ponderosa put bath salts
in the milk
in whatever they were drinking.
Yeah, that's the backstory. If you don't watch the show regularly, Bill Ponderosa got a lot of substance abuse problems, and he had pulled his life together. I guess he went to high school with him, right? And he pulled his life together, but they kept screwing him up again, kind of like they did with Cricket.
Well, it's very Seinfeldish, but a more over the top way, because they just leave this path of destruction in their wake. They just ruin people's lives.
And Dennis is a straight up serial killer. I know it.
Yeah,
he's one of the more terrifying characters on television.
Yeah, but it's like always like reference that he has this really dark past, like the darkness in him.
Yeah. Well, what's great about it, again, if you haven't watched
it's the implication.
It's the implication.
Yeah.
What implication? You know. What's great though is I feel like maybe not every episode, but almost every episode, they choose one of them to be rational, and it could be a different one every time, and they're rational in a way that they aren't in other episodes. So sometimes it's Charlie, and he's the one that's like, "You guys are all crazy," and
but they usually have like
it's Dennis.
Don't you feel though that whenever they have one of those characters, it seems like they're the rational one? That there's a twist at the end that they were the most out there of all of them during all those events. You just didn't see what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like in the most recent of this season, there's a twist at the end of the most recent episode, the sexual harassment. Time's Up for the Gang, I think is the name of the episode.
I haven't seen any of the new ones yet.
Well, this season hasn't been super strong, but then this last episode they hit their stride again, and it's Time's Up for the Gang. But in this one, Dennis is the real super rational one.
Yeah. I really like they have like
a lot of times he is.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he gets played as the rational one more often, but every time it's one of them. Sometimes it's Frank, sometimes it's Mac.
Yeah.
So the promotional materials every year, they have like a theming to the poster and like everything, but it's the 13th season, so it's Sunny the 13th, and it's most of the gang running through a field from an axe murderer in the background, which is Dennis.
Yeah.
I think that's a great.
So Mike, has this like inspire you to watch the previous seasons?
Yeah, but I don't know where to. I need to.
You just need to start from the beginning.
I start straight from the beginning.
Yeah,
the first.
I'll always say that, but they're all good. It's all good.
I watched completely out of order, and
I feel like I've seen 7 or 8 episodes that people have just said you have to watch this, and then every time I see that, I'm like, I know I'm missing stuff, but it's really, really funny.
Where they get addicted to crack, for sure. Where Dennis and Mac buy that house out in the suburbs.
That's a good one.
I cried.
But if you want a chronological, just skip everything until Danny DeVito joins the cast.
The therapist where they have to do the dishes.
Yeah.
This is really fucking
one
great.
One of my favorite things is when Dee gets enraged. It's like, you sons of bitches!
Yeah.
God damn it!
Well, like,
you bitches screwed me!
Here's what always keeps me from really getting into the show. A couple of the episodes I've seen, I get that there's mean-spirited, and that's me funny. But it feels like there's a lot of, like, setup for, like, everything's gonna be great, and then it's always robbed from them.
That's what makes it funny.
They don't
because
deserve it.
They never get what they really want.
Okay.
Because they don't deserve it. At all.
Well, you said you like the Mick.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the Mick.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they still care about each other, and these guys seem like they're really mean to each other.
No, they do not care about each other.
Here's the funny thing: they do, but they don't.
Yeah,
like they absolutely.
Well, I guess that's true with the Mick too.
Yeah.
They kind of hate each other, but they love each other.
There's a little bit of heart in the Mick.
Like they're not gonna let shit happen to each other from somebody outside of their group.
Mm-hmm.
That's important to me,
unless they think it's gonna be funny. And then if you pay attention, there are moments where they clearly have, like, well, first of all, Charlie and Frank love each other. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, Charlie loves Frank at least.
I think Frank loves Charlie.
Yeah, maybe.
But, like, you would still murder him, I think, if it benefited him. Like, it is a weird...
That's what they're capable... He's as much love as they're capable of.
Exactly. Like, I feel like there is, like, within the context of them, there is a weird form of caring and family. They are a family.
I feel they keep each other around to make each other feel better.
Yeah, and they enjoy spending time with each other
because
it's Charlie work.
They revel in putting each other down. Everybody thinks that they're the best one in the group.
Yeah,
and like that's why they keep each other around, because they want to have that moment where they're the best all the time.
So the balance is when one gets too high and somebody else figures out how to knock them back down on them.
Oh, yeah.
They're competitive. It's really if there's one thing that runs through all the seasons is that they are constantly. It's like sibling rivalry, the series.
Okay.
To the extreme.
The Nightman Cometh is maybe the greatest episode of TV I've ever seen ever.
Yeah.
Of anything.
So good.
It's unbelievably great.
It's a good one.
All right, my babies, those are our first set.
Now, here's the exciting part
specials
for you members. You firm members out there. Members of our firm. Our patrons.
All right, come on.
So, if you are a patron... Every month, starting here in the month of October, we will dedicate the 3rd episode of our series of that theme to your selection for the main attraction. If you're a Beelzebub, you have a weighted entry. You have more entries in this random selection. So you are more likely to be picked if you're a Beelzebub than if you are a Mammon, Leviathan, and so forth and on down. But every patron,
based on your worth as a person,
it's you're like a shareholder in like an 80s movie where someone's going to break in and convince you not to close down the factory and sell your shares.
Exactly.
You have more shares.
You have more shares, or if you ever enter a raffle where like you have more entries. Imagine that I'm turning a giant.
That's 2 shares.
A giant raffle bin, and there are names in that raffle bin.
Yeah, split the pot.
Yeah, like split the pot. Now, you Beelzebubs, you have more of those.
You spent $20.
But everyone has an opportunity.
All right, what do we got?
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Number 12.
Number 12 is Mandy Arthur.
Mandy, congratulations. You will be selecting up to an hour of programming.
Halloween specials.
And it has to be under the tent of Halloween specials. And it has to be something that we can get our hands on to watch, obviously.
Yeah.
So, Mandy, I will also send you a message just in case you are behind on listening.
But they don't need to worry about things we may have already covered in the past, correct?
It doesn't matter. You can pick anything you want.
So they might want a new take.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is exciting.
I don't want to tell you what to pick, but just try to get on streaming for us.
Well, yeah, that's what Freddie said.
No, hopefully
it has to be available.
Hopefully free, too.
Right. The deadline would be by Sunday when we record the next episode in case I have to order it and have it mailed.
He will email you all of these things.
Just stick to Hulu and Amazon and Netflix, please.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
YouTube and Hoopla.
If you want to mail me a VHS and something to play it in.
Nothing
we can watch it on Boople or Young Young.
Oh!
Yeah.
Or
I know what you watch on Young Young.
Trebuchet.
What if they
my
send
Young
us-
Young account is suspended.
Can they send us home videos and we can review them?
Was it a television home?
That'd be interesting.
Review their life.
Yeah.
Zipple.
And
All right.
that was Mandy Arthur, correct?
Yes. Okay. So, like we do at the end of every show, let's say hello to our Beelzebubs. These are the folks. They're truly a producer of this fine show that you just heard. Obviously, to our new dude, we're going to call you Deadeye.
What are you trying to do, Kelley?
You got a Deadeye.
I'm rattling bones for Halloween.
Oh.
Jeremy and Cassie.
Sounds just like it.
I
Y'all
know.
like them apples you
Well,
picked?
it's real
the other
bones.
day I saw your pictures.
Oh, reviewing your life with Amy.
Amanda.
It's ominous though because it's Halloween.
Yeah.
Girl, how you doing?
That wasn't so ominous.
How you do?
How are you doing?
Oh, that was.
Yeah, give me
Had
chills.
edge to it.
Dale. Over the river and through the woods to Dale's house we go.
Oh, we're on our way.
I don't know why I'm stuck doing this. Mandy, we just talked about you. You're fine. You won.
Congratulations, Mandy.
Yay.
It's like you got a treat when you went trick or treating.
Adam, you were the worst big bad on Buffy.
But the bar is pretty high. But in terms of other seasons, he's pretty low on the totem pole.
Brooke. Quit your babbling.
Oh!
Well done.
Ernest. Ernie. Puppet. Bert and Ernie. Puppets don't have sexuality. Sorry about that. That didn't make any sense.
Eggs erroneous.
I
You're
ran
just
out.
Rappaporting.
Albert Fish.
There you go.
I did it.
You did do it.
Who was he? A serial killer? or
Yeah.
something?
Oh, yeah.
Tree and Alex. I'll climb your tree
And
and push Alex out of it
Oh!
onto a pumpkin.
onto a pumpkin patch.
A soft pumpkin.
The softest kind.
Yeah, it's the end of the season and they're all rotted.
Yeah, they're all.
But they're rotten and they
Yeah.
smell bad.
yeah, so now you smell bad.
You smell real spooky.
Pumpkin
It's
sludge.
the jack-o'-lanterns have that caved-in face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they took their dentures out.
Jack chop.
Oh.
Brandon. Boo! Nah.
Oh,
Good one, Amy.
That's a thinker.
damn, girl.
Wow. Now you got to go bigger.
I don't know what to do next. Bill! You live in New York City. There's been lots of serial killers there. Do you know Son of Sam?
He's like, I do.
What if he's I'm
You
him?
know him?
Oh.
Do you know the dog he talked to? Blake! Do you like to eat cake?
As long as you say it's spooky, it's fine.
Why did I start this?
It's terrifying.
Freddie, this is hard.
I'm scared.
That's what she said.
Yeah, it really is.
Mark my words.
Oh.
You were in Disney Springs. I bet you had fun. Elise.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
have to marry Kelley.
The worst fate.
I know.
The worst fate you could have.
No, that's not true.
It's like the second or third worst fate you could have.
If you had to marry Kelley Kapowski.
If you could change your fate.
Ouija?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm sorry that wasn't as good as it should have been, but I tried.
I thought that was
I
pretty
thought it was
good.
fantastic.
Thank
Amy.
you.
I enjoyed it.
You did a great job.
Welcome
I
to
held-
the club, Dion.
Claire.
Yeah.
Club, I held my pee just so I could hear that.
I know. I got
Dion
to
and the
Me
club.
too.
So great. Thank you so much for being with us. Next week, it's me and Mikey B.
Mm-hmm.
Down by the schoolyard.
Just
to bring it back
Do
to
you guys know what you picked?
No.
I'm working on it.
Okay,
I think I got a Goldbergs episode in the hopper, but I don't know what else.
Have we done Garfield before?
Oh, I don't
I think
remember.
we did.
But I think it was
shoot.
back in the first year, maybe.
And I don't know what it was.
And it wasn't really part of this.
I'll ask more. I have more
We'll
questions
do some
out there.
research.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Give me love.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to bed when his old buddy Leatherface put on Dawn of the Dead. And Igor made the nachos in a severed human head, and they enjoy the movie with of